Well, hello there, everybody. I've been wanting to do a Domina tutorial for quite a long time here, especially for you newcomers to the game. So I'm actually going to go ahead and jump in here. I'm going to give you guys some tutorial tips. I'm also going to try to win the game just in this next few minutes. So, as you can see here, the Emperor has decreed that there shall be epic gladiatorial games. And we are the Domina. We've received this gladiator training house from our fathers. And for all intents and purposes, these guys are our slaves. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is click on the Dottore over here on the far left. You want to go ahead and select Enable Automatic Gladiator Training. Unless you actually have the patience to select and train your gladiators individually, which I do suggest if you can do it, that's the best thing to do. So right away with your money, you're probably thinking, oh, I want to get some new armor. No. You go to the city marketplace. We're going to hire some employees, some important employees. First one I'm going to take is going to be the actual Medicus, and I'll explain in a second why. We are also going to take the Educator, and these guys are actually quite inexpensive right now. And we'll also take the Sacerdos. Now, honestly, it's totally up to you who you take, and eventually we're going to fire some of these guys because we're going to want a blacksmith. He's going to be very, very important, and he'll basically repair our weapons. First thing we want to do, go to the Medicus, select auto healing. So if any of your guys are hurt, he's going to help them out. We'll start researching antibiotics. And with the Sacerdos, we are going to learn the Prayer of Vulcan to occasionally increase gladiator ability. We're also going to increase anatomy because this will actually give our gladiators an increased attack power. Another thing to consider are the cards here. We definitely want to start spreading these cards out, so I'm going to spread them over to this guy, Octavius, and you want to keep your gladiators satisfied, so make sure to get them to the happy stage, and they're going to train a lot harder than they otherwise would. Obviously, with your starting gladiators, you want to find the strongest one. This guy's pretty good, 164 in terms of overall health. That's partially what you want to look at. You also want to look at the stats. So let me take a look at this guy. He's definitely got a lot better stats and slightly higher health. So I'm going to go ahead and buy him a basic Plama. Nice, decent helmet here. We'll give him the Death's Helm. Don't go for the Terrifying Beast Helm early on. And we'll give him a new shield here, a nice, good old, large basic shield. In fact, we'll give him a Centurion shield. And you really want to try and make your first fighter, or your starting fighters, pretty well armed so that they can take on most threats and survive. You can't start losing fighters early on or you're going to have a big problem on your hands. In fact, I do want to give him the Terrifying Beast Helm, but I'm going to hold off for now. Down here, you can see the victories this particular gladiator has had. So he's had 3 already. And this guy, Julianus, he's 170. So I am going to train him to be a 3X. Now, this might annoy some people, but the fact is, I don't really think, personally, that the other two classes, the Murmillo class and the Retiaris class, are really that good. That's just my personal experience. The Murmillo can sometimes be better with the dual-wielding attacks, but be very careful when you raise one of those guys. So, let's get started, my friends. Here we go. Training away. Let's do it. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to get good relations with the legate. The best thing to do that is to send them wine. They love wine. It's pretty inexpensive stuff, and we can really improve the relations. And we want to go ahead and get him to suggest gladiator patronage. So this way, he has adopted Julianus of Hibernia. Every time this guy wins in a certain fight, he's going to get some money. So we can do exhibition fights and give him some money, or lose on purpose and make sure he wins. So I'm going to purchase slaves. No, let's not purchase slaves. Let's send wine. There we go.
Well. Swell. You never cease to impress.
This is the magistrate, and I want you guys to keep in mind that if this doesn't work, then this tutorial will be for nothing. I'm going to have to basically sell it. Right now we're out of money. That puts us at a very big disadvantage. Hopefully we can get into a pit fight really cheap. We just need 1 gold. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sell. Ooh, we can't sell. We might have to sell you, Julianus. I'm sorry, buddy. We got to do it, guys. We're going to attend the pit fight with our master here. And by the way, I never take the mind control technique, which allows me to control the gladiator. I like it to be a real simulation, so I go ahead and let these guys fight on their own. Let's hope for the best, guys. This is our first fight with Octavius. Sometimes your gladiators are not as good as you think they are, and sometimes they need more training by the Dottore.
Go, Grandma!
There we go. That is a victory. Now, the goal is to train these guys up, number one, so that you can win the games at the end of the year. And the number two, which is very, very, very important, is you want to be able to release some of your gladiators. I'm not going to tell you why. I don't want to spoil the game. So I'm just letting you know you're going to have to release some of your gladiators. You always want to heal your gladiators after they've been in a fight, and sometimes even reward them, perhaps with some cool new armor. In this case, we're going to give him the Extreme Secular Helm. Pretty nice piece of equipment, but we also need to give Roshan some stuff as well, particularly a basic Kwama. This guy right here, take a look at his health, 149. Now, early on, you can sell a lot of these guys to increase your skills, which you definitely need. So now we've got that. Let's get the Nimble Stance, and we are fighting Iulius, and this is a sanctioned fight. So I could send an Erosion with his Wooden Gladius, but that would just be mean. I'm going to have to send our wounded guy. But I'm confident he can win this. Come on, Octavius. Now, as we get more gladiators, there's some more I want to show you. Some more tactics. Ooh, this guy's good, man. We got him. We got him. He's dead. He didn't even surrender. Octavius is fine, but we're going to have to patch him up. And that's another reason we got the Medicus. So he's got an auto-heal skill. I'm going to go ahead and immediately use the auto-heal skill. You want to remember, guys, that these cards actually really, really help your gladiators. Let's see Faustus, 159. He's not great, but he could improve. So I'm going to give him a Kwama. You always want to give your main gladiators a Kwama. It's the best weapon for them. It's pretty cheap, all things considered, because some of the other classes have a bunch of weapons. So I would go ahead, get the Kwama, and just try to outfit this guy as best you can. You're going to have to put some guys into the ring that you don't necessarily want to, just to go ahead and, you know, really improve that skill level. So the Sacerdos can also do something. You want to be using this Sacerdos as much as possible. We're going to give a prayer to Apollo to increase gladiator strength, and we're going to use all Jupiter's blessings that we can. We're also going to start arranging exhibition matches. So it's really weird. Either we lose and the enemy, well, not the enemy, the magistrate or the legate are happy because we lost a fight to one of their gladiators, and they give us money. It's sort of a bribe. Or we win, and either way, we're going to gain some skill. So exhibition matches are so important in this game to increase your skill and to overall just be a better fighter. Yeah, you're going to have to kill your guys, but if you have the right people, then you're going to do just fine. So Faustus won. We got Armored Stewardship, and in this case, we didn't get a lot of money, actually, but he enjoyed that. As you can see, his relations went up. So sometimes he'll give you money, sometimes only the relations will go up. As you can see, our gladiators were not happy about that. I can't blame them, but sometimes you got to do what you hate. It's just the way it is. Let's do a prayer to Venus. Healing of the gladiators will happen automatically. And let's also make sure the Medicus is on auto-healing. He is. Let's get some anesthesia for our boys. This guy I want to throw in the ring ASAP. And they already have a lot of their health back. Now keep checking these cards because they actually contain a lot of information. I'd love to give them some better mail. You always want to be trying to upgrade your units, but you know, obviously don't spend too much money like we're doing right now. Let's sell some wine. 55 for 1 gold. Man, what a ripoff. Well, we have a lot of food, so let's sell some food. We might be able to get into a pit fight here in a second. Pit fights and exhibition matches are extremely important. Now, these fights that happen automatically are, of course, fights selected by the actual emperor himself or whoever owns the stadium or the arena, usually the magistrate or the legate. So I could send an Octavius, but another thing you want to do in this game, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So if you've got someone you think that could win, you send them in. If you want to give that guy a bit more training time before he goes into a kill or be killed match, keep on doing the exhibition stuff. So I'm going to send in our best Octavius right now against Pilatus. We could have sent in the other guy. He probably could have won this fight, but let's be safe here in the beginning. I highly recommend people being safe when you start Domina. Look at that, man. Look at that. 2 just dramatic strikes. Basically cut the guy in half. That was beautiful. Octavius didn't lose any health. And we got a slave as well, Scribon. Now, first thing we want to do, go to the Dottore. We want to get the aimed attack going. We're going to have to study the mind control, but we don't have to use it. I'm also going to go to my educator, and this will increase our injury resource rate, but I want to increase max stamina and stamina recharge. Focus, though, is also really good. This decreases our gladiator training time, and this early on, that's exactly what you want. Some of these guys you'll release before their tenure's up. Some of these guys you'll want to keep on the entire time. So right now, we're trying to improve this guy's setup. We'll also reward him some coins so he's pleased. 5 victories, 1 loss. And also, there's a pause button right here. You should definitely use it because you're going to need to pause the game more than a few times. Now, if Scribon, you see, that health, it's just not good enough for me. However, he does have 60 agility points. So if we can make him a Murmillo, for instance, he would actually be a pretty good one. The question is, do I want to keep him around? For now, I am going to keep him around. I'll give him some coin, reward him some wine. Hopefully, he increases those other skills, but right now, things are not looking good for that guy. He's probably going to be sold at market. Let's do a prayer to Mercury here. Occasionally upgrade gladiator weapon. And the guy we need to get in here pretty soon is going to be the blacksmith. He is the next important, basically, person on your team is going to be the blacksmith. We also should have arranged a match here. We didn't. Let me go ahead and upgrade this guy a bit more. Faustus has a nice Centurion shield. I'm really just trying to keep him safe because we don't want to lose these early gladiators too quickly. So let's go ahead. Let's go to the pit fight. And we're going to send in... Oh, cool. We get to send in Faustus and Octavius. You never know what you're going to face. And remember, you can always reject the fight. You just might lose some respect with the people who own the arena. And this is a black market fight, so you don't want to lose respect with these people. They can kill you, and believe me, there's a lot of endings to this game. We might experience 1 or 2 of them, so keep that in mind. Beautiful. He did get a hit of 26 there, so he probably got a nice slice on maybe the arm or the leg, but that should heal up nicely. And, of course, if you look up there, it's going to give them a bunch of weapon training, etc. It just makes them much better fighters. It's that simple. Now we've got 487. We're starting to get a lot of gold. And we've also got some additional guys. 182. That's excellent. So absolutely we'll take this guy on as an apprentice. I'm going to give him some badass gear to work with. Give him a regular Roman helm. I do this, the regular Roman helm and the red shield, to identify the sort of new guys that have talent from the old guys who have the Centurion shield, who have done their thing for a long time. So let's go ahead. We're going to go to the Legate. Let's arrange an exhibition match. So he, of course, supports Erosion. We're going to send in just Celestius, one of our slaves, basically. And maybe the crowd will throw him a weapon, maybe not. Although you always get more money at an exhibition fight if you make the crowd happy. The same is true in a regular fight, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to have given him like a wooden gladius or something like that. But there we go. He's put up the sign for surrender. Erosion has won. He's gained more skill. Although the host temperament is even better. So he really likes us right now. Max stamina. Let's give it to Celestius. He hates us right now, which totally makes sense. But we can definitely possibly, that's the worst thing ever, make him, well, essentially make him a well-renowned gladiator. So no, for this guy looks pretty beastly. I'm going to send in Octavius against Celsus. 212. Looks like his armor is the beastliest thing about him. Let's go for it anyway. Okay, now we've got more than a few guys here. Sasius, 137. No, sold immediately. This guy? Yep. You get to be a Thraex. Give him a Quama. Give him a nice helmet here. Get him that good old regular Roman shield. You gotta cover up that codpiece. Yes. It is a dangerous place to get hit, obviously. I'll try to reward him some coin. Oh, he is encouraged, even though he's wounded. That's good. So obviously he's going to train better. And now we want to go immediately to the Dottore. I want to do blade control. Really good skill to have. Our educator doesn't have too much else to teach, but you want to go ahead and try and increase that AI fighting proficiency, especially if you're not going to do the auto attack where you get to control the gladiator, which, by the way, it's a really cool feature, but as somebody who likes more a simulation game, not so sure. We're still keeping Scribon on board, as you guys can see. So I'm waiting until we maybe unlock the Marmillo class, in which case I'll give it to him, because he does have really good agility. You always want to pay attention to every single one of the the attributes that basically the person has. Now, if you take a look here, a drunken gambling frenzy, your brother-in-law has racked up a sizable debt of 16 coin. Being unable to pay, he ran to your villa for safety. When you have the money to pay this stuff off, you might as well should. Just do it, you know. There's many different ways you can approach. You can be the badass, but who knows? It could get you killed. This is ancient Rome. A lot of bad things could happen. Per to Juno, yeah, will occasionally increase his defense training. Costs a little money, but I think it's worth it. And now what we're going to do, guys, is the next most important thing in the game. We're going to go to the map of games. And this is where you fight the champions of Rome. And if you can beat them, you get a lot, and I mean a lot of unlocks in terms of your skill level. So we're going to be sending in some guys that don't have the best training. I'm hoping that Octavius is going to lead them through. We're also fighting this guy, Medicus the Savage. He is a behemoth. In other words, a very big human being, probably affected by gigantism. Let's see how we do, guys. Best of luck to us. And down. Another down. Another down. I think we may have lost one, though, boys. I think one of our boys is down, but he might be in a situation where we can save him. Oh! So that... Unfortunately, you have to right and left click your mouse button really quick, and you have a chance to save your guy that's surrendered. Otherwise, he gets killed. Now, was that a major loss? Yeah, kind of. We still have Octavius alive, and we can go ahead, upgrade him with some epic armor, an epic helm. And again, eventually, we are going to want to release our best fighters, basically. This guy's doing okay. I do want to go ahead and give him some better armor, better helmet, just in case he has to fight. And the same with Faustus. We didn't lose our best fighters. That's the good news. And we still have a lot of money to upgrade. Another thing I should show you guys before the end of this tutorial. And by the way, if you want this to be a full playthrough, make sure to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. And that's much more likely to happen. But one thing that you should keep in mind, first of all, let me pause here. This is important. We want to go ahead and once you're done with this particular person, you won't always keep the Medicus around because he auto heals. But if somebody doesn't do something that's auto healing, then you should probably go ahead and fire the person eventually. So for now, we'll do the teachings of Galen, but afterwards you want to get somebody like a blacksmith. And with a blacksmith, it's got that same auto repair button, which you can use to repair the damaged goods you get. Now that brings me to my second point, which is really important. If you have a really good relationship with the legate, you can actually purchase gladiators here. And by purchasing these gladiators, these guys come very well trained. They usually have very, very good skills for the most part. And it's good to purchase these guys early, train them up, and you also have to usually either repair or purchase new armor for them because he gives them to you totally beat up, which is unfortunate, but it's the way things are. Quickly here, we're going to go ahead. I think we could actually take on another behemoth here. We could wait a bit, but I'm going for it, guys. Let's do it. So this time we're fighting Constance, and I'm going to send in Octavius and Sallustius. If anything, it'll give Sallustius a great deal of skill. And again, it's very important to try and increase skill with all of your gladiators. Don't just make one your favorite. Obviously, you want to use him in dangerous situations. But for the most part, you really want to pass that skill around. So now Sallustius is going to get a little bonus here. And we've got some slaves. Don't always throw away those slaves that have absolutely nothing, but keep it in mind. Now, for this one, I'm going to do what's very important, guys. I'm going to go ahead and send in Octavius. I'm going to win this fight. I think he's got 728. Uh-oh. Wish us luck. Fuck a dick. My gosh. YouTube's going to love this video. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, we got him. We just barely got him, guys. Now, what we're going to do is very important in the entire point of the game if you want to win at the end. Now, keep in mind, you also have to have trained gladiators at the end, so don't just think you need to release everybody. That's a terrible idea. But in the case of Octavius, he's done so much for us, and at this point he's at 878 health, that I think what I'm going to try to do is I am actually going to release him. And I'm not going to tell you what that does. I'm just going to tell you that if you want to win, get the good ending at the end of the game, that's something you absolutely have to do. Now, by the way, when I have this much cash, I immediately want to go ahead and spend it around. So we're going to get this guy some epic armor. We could even give him some red dragon mail. We'll get him some epic armor here. He's got the Quama going for him. Go ahead and upgrade this. Make sure he's extremely happy with us. And basically try to create other heroes here in the ring that can be seen as just as good as Octavius. You know, you can't just have one hero and win this game. And don't forget, you do have to carry some of these heroes to the very end, or else you will not win in the Ultimate Championship. I know, it sounds like Ultimate Championship. What the hell is this? Let's give this guy the hold ground technique, and we'll give him the hold ground technique, as well as Armored Stewardship. And I'm actually going to go ahead and fire the Sacerdotes, because I want to show you guys how important it is to purchase the Faber. There's a lot of other really great agents, like the agent himself. The agent will get you some really, really good pit fights where you can bet a bunch of money and win a bunch of it back, so it's definitely worth it.